You know, and some of the guys that are a little bit older are sometimes the avoided guys as well. Give you an example, Luis Ortiz. Now, people talk about, oh, well, he was old, you know, when Deontay fought him. He's older now than he was then. How come Joshua hasn't fought him? How come Fury hasn't fought him? How come anybody else? Where are all the guys that want to fight Ortiz? They want to say he was old, but why haven't they fought him? He's older now than he was then, right? Why has nobody reached out to fight? Why is Ortiz not being mentioned in this mix? Who's the one guy that reached out to fight Ortiz? Who's the one guy? Deontay Wilder. And guess what? When Ortiz tested positive and Deontay could have gotten out and said, well, he tested positive, I'm not fighting him. Guess what happened? Once he tested clean, who came right back after him? Deontay. And the fight was made. That fight was only made for one reason. That's because Deontay wanted it. But I don't see anybody knocking down the Ortiz door lately. Ortiz's door is still intact, last I saw. I'm waiting for somebody to call him out.
Did you see Ortiz's last performance against Christian Hammer? And if so, what was your thoughts?
I did not see it. I heard he won, and I heard he looked good at times, and Hammer stayed in there. I think it was a decision.
Yes.
Yeah. So I haven't seen it yet.
Now, when you hear things like, you know, Travis Kaufman go to distance, Christian Hammer goes to distance, is this kind of like a sign that Luis Ortiz is maybe not, you know, quote unquote in the prime when he fought Deontay Wilder? He's losing a little bit here and there, that he's not knocking guys out like that?
I don't know. I think he's still beating, you know, Ortiz has got a problem. And his problem is that nobody really wants to fight him. So he's having to find guys, and he's finding the best guys he can find. Kaufman and Hammer, you know, that's not bad fights for him. It's not the fights he necessarily wants. But the top five, none of those guys have been willing to fight him. So I don't know if he's declined or not. Certainly, you'd think if he's declined, somebody would call him out. Didn't Dylan White? What did he pull out of the fight or something? I forget what it was. Something when he heard he was fighting Ortiz, all of a sudden the fight didn't happen.
They had some back and forth between you know where to fight, who to fight.
I've never known Ortiz to turn down a fight, so I don't think it's coming from him. I think Ortiz will fight anybody that you know that they ask him to fight.
Do you think that after, you know, if Wilder gets past Brazil, that rightfully so, that Dillian White should be the mandatory next on the WBC side?
I haven't looked at the ratings lately, but if he is, he's won some big fights. He's got a great left hook. You know, he's a really tough guy. You know, so if that's the fight, I know there's also some personal history there with he and Deontay. So, you know, I love those personal history fights.
What were some of the personal history?
I think they just went back and forth about a lot of things on social. I'm not a big social media guy, so I don't know a lot about all that. In fact, I'm the guy that'll bring somebody to camp to spar Deontay, not knowing that the guy's talked a bunch of crap. You know, yeah, I've done that before, and you know, because I'm not an internet guy that much, so I'm just looking for who the best guys are that we can get in camp at a certain phase of camp, right? And if somebody can help us, I want them in here.
How did those? Just kind of elaborate, because that's an interesting story. So you brought sparring partners in, not knowing that there was kind of some history.
Yeah, not knowing that the guy, because you know, a lot of guys, when you're the champ, guys call you out.
Yes.
And apparently, I've had guys in camp that.
Could you give me a story without it?
Well, I know. One time, way back several years ago, Dominic Gwynn, who's a great guy, but I brought him into camp. I forget who we were fighting. I think we were fighting Stavern, and so we wanted Dominic Gwynn in camp. And he walked up to Deontay and he said, "I know you may not like me, but I just want you to know, I just wanted to fight. You know, I needed a fight. I wanted to fight." And Deontay said, "No, it's all good. It's all good." And they got along fine after that.
So nothing like intense, but it was just more
no.
like...
But there's been some guys I know. There's been some guys where, you know, they had to get after it and settle it. You know, kind of in there, including Jarrell Miller, who had done a bunch of talking apparently, and they got in there and had to hash it out in the ring. And once they do, everything seems to be okay. So if a guy's done a bunch of talking, I give them credit for coming to camp, because they know that they're going to have to get in the ring with Deontay. And Deontay is a social media guy. So he's on there and he sees if guys call him out or talk about him. And then it's just funny when I bring him into camp, not knowing, you know, that anything has been said. So yeah, that's happened probably 4 or 5 times.
If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.